Welcome, Secretive Seductive Scorpio. It is Sachi, and we are going to do guided healing where we take a look at the current wound that you're healing, what is keeping you stuck there, and then we will look into how to get you unstuck and some general advice on how to heal the wound from the angels. You guys did come in first place, so congratulations. You guys are usually one or two, so you're in first place, which means that you will be getting the extended for this reading for free. And you will also be getting a bonus reading next month. So just a little bit of heads up, I'm going to be doing the monthly readings bi-monthly. And then if you are a member on the site, you will get a reading every other month. So you'll get a bonus reading next month regardless. But I'm going to start doing them bi-weekly just so I can manage my time and start putting more time and energy into things that are giving back to me a little bit more. So if you're a member, you know, you're still going to be getting the readings that you usually get. If you're not, then, you know, only expect a bi-weekly reading. But I will do one for the collective, you know, on the months that I'm not doing the monthly readings. But when I hit 100 members on either Eagle or Phoenix, then I will go back to doing them monthly. So anyway, let's just hop right into it, Scorpio. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, if you didn't see the eclipse reading, please go check that out. It is for the eclipse portal, which I'm recording this on the 6th. So the second eclipse is happening tomorrow. And yeah, it's a pretty powerful reading, and if you are a member, there's also, you know, mini messages for each of the signs there. But anyway, so Seven of Swords in reverse, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. So lots of air energy coming through with the Queen of Pentacles. So Seven of Swords in reverse, it's telling me there's something that you haven't really been able to walk away from, and this can be something that you've been fighting for a very long time. It's like you can't walk away from this conversation or this issue because you feel like you need to win, basically. Like you believe that you have to fight for what's right or sort of defend yourself in some sort of way. Someone may have stabbed you in the back, but it feels like you're really, like you can't let it go until you win, is what it feels like. And with the Queen of Pentacles, this could be someone that messed around with your money, someone who messed around with something that you physically nurture. This could even be, you know, someone that messed with like a child of yours, or maybe, you know, your business or something, like a money baby that you have. But it looks like you are really trying to focus on nurturing your coin at this time. And really, again, you know, not backing down of whatever this is, but it feels like less of, you know, not backing down and more of not being able to let it go. And, you know, as a fixed sign, one of the biggest issues that fixed signs face is the ability to walk away from a situation, to know when it no longer serves them, because fixed signs typically fight until the death. You know what I mean? Metaphorically, of course. They really want to take it all the way because it's that fixed mentality, right? I'm going from A to B. If anything stands in my way, I'm just gonna, you know, hit that blockade until the blockade crumbles, or, you know, the blockade crumbles you, which as a Scorpio, that would be a death and rebirth, where it's like, okay, I'm a whole new person. Let me just, you know, now I'm not even interested in this A to B anymore. So definitely feels a little bit of hard-headed energy. We have Diglett with Scratch in reverse, which is telling me that there is something dug very deep into your sacral chakra here. This is also a fighting type. So again, a lot of fighting energy. And with Scratch in reverse, it's like we haven't even scratched the surface of this issue. Okay. All right. So Scorpio, I hope that you are well and preparing for birthday season. All right, let's take a look here, Scorpio. As I mentioned, what we're going to do is just take a look into the wound that you are healing, what's keeping you stuck. Then we'll look into how to get you unstuck, and then some general advice. So let's see, what wound is this that wanted to come out quickly? Strength and Five of Pentacles. Yeah, literally, that's exactly how I was feeling. Is like, it's your willpower. It's your willpower of not being able to feel rejection, or kind of self-reject, if that makes sense. You know, strength, again, is all, it's fixed fire energy, right? It's Leo. So it's this never ending fire that goes out. And willpower is your ability to conquer and, you know, like assert your dominance, assert your strength. She's riding a lion, you know, and, which isn't necessarily in one combat move, right? She actually befriends the lion over time. And that's part of strength, right? Of doing something continuously every day. It's like, you know, physical strength, right? Your muscle is, you know, you slowly increase the weight to get a bigger muscle, but it's something that you sort of devote yourself to systematically over time. And so I feel like you've built this certain strength of, you know, again, being very persevering, of deciding to continue to do things, right? Strength is Leo energy. That's another fixed sign. So it feels like you're very much in this fixed energy. 5 of Pentacles is the rejection, right? Physical rejection, not getting a job, you know, someone saying no to you, you know, dating or friendship or whatever, you know, not, you know, winning a bidding war or something. You know, there's so many ways to be rejected physically, and it's not just, you know, SEXUAL, which I don't necessarily feel that, but it feels like something didn't work out the way that you wanted it. And it's basically this energy of trying to assert your willpower even when all signs are saying no, go away, stay away from this door, you know, don't go through this door, you know, stay away, this dog is barking. But it seems like you still just sort of want to keep going forward for some reason. So let's see, what's the light energy? Coming out stuck, we have Illumise using Helping Hand and Twirling Sign, which is interesting. There's a damage here on this card. So Illumise is something that's being illuminated, right? It's a like a lightning bug Pokemon, and this is in the heart chakra. So it seems like your heart chakra is, you know, with Helping Hand, your heart may be in the right place, right? It might be like, oh, I want to help someone, or I want to do this, or help myself, right? There's a lot of light energy here. But with Twirling Sign and the fact that this card is damaged, which I've never seen before, it's kind of like, you know, twirling, it's like you're just going through this cycle of just sort of spinning. And, you know, going around in circles really doesn't help anyone, to be honest. So it looks like part of the wound is thinking that you're doing something helpful when really you are, you know, sort of hurting yourself, honestly. It says, with a sweet aroma, it guides Volbeat to draw signs with lights in the night sky. So that definitely gives me energy of, you know, signs in the night sky, very astrologically stuff. And some of you may not even be Scorpios. I really recommend that you get a sky app like Sky Safari or Night Sky and look at the sky the moment you were born and double check where that sun is, you know. Double check to see if you're a Scorpio, because it does definitely seem like there is some astrological aspect of just going through this situation over and over again and to keep asserting your willpower. It's like, well, let's just see what comes out in the shadow first. Okay, yeah. So Carablast, Shell on, and Peck, and then in the subconscious we have Meditite, Yoga Shock, and Reverse. So again, we have another heart chakra, Pokemon. So it's telling me a lot of this is sort of asserting your will through, you know, your heart and what your heart is telling you. With Carablast, Shell on, it's telling me that your heart actually has a shell on it, which is very Scorpionic, right? There is that exoskeleton aspect to the lower emanations of Scorpio, of course. And with Peck, it's telling me that this is, you know, kind of something that is, like Peck I take as like a woodpecker, like just like sort of constantly happening. Carablast is an interesting fellow. Him and Shelmet, they're completely separate species. But when they're in the same environment together, their nervous systems get activated and they get these like electrical impulses and then they evolve. And Shelmet is a like a night type. It's like it wears sort of like a helmet, like a knight would. So it's telling me that, you know, you experience someone who was a knight energy, which is a come and go, right? Knights, you can't build a kingdom or queendom with a knight. And so that caused a shell to be on your heart here. It says, these mysterious Pokemon evolve when they receive electrical stimulation while they're in the same place as Shelmet. Okay, yeah, exactly. So it seems like you had, someone who was a come and go, someone who was like a knight. And again, you had some sort of, epigenetic response to each other where your nervous systems got activated intensely by being in the same place. And it may have done something to your heart chakra. And again, made you feel like you're helping in some sort of way by doing something, right? By asserting your strength, asserting your willpower, asserting your dominance. Because there's a lot of heart chakra energy here, but strength is actually coming from the solar plexus. So, and we have another sacral energy coming out in reverse. And sacral is where you emotionally and sensually connect to someone else. So, it seems like there's a topsy-turvy person that you're connected to that's making you assert your willpower, thinking that your heart is in the right place, but it's really not being able to handle rejection in some sort of way. And this reminds me of, it's like, so much of our childhood, and just programming in general is sort of never give up, right? Keep going, never give up, study harder, try harder, do this, you'll get it eventually. But no one really teaches us how to give up, how to be like, you know what, I'm not giving this any more of my energy. But it seems like this thing is like you're consistently giving it your energy. With Yoga Shock in reverse, it is telling me, obviously, the yoga energy is out of balance. So this could be, affecting you physically. I just had, like, my ears just felt really weird. And even Meditite has, like, those ears. So maybe your meditation game is off. Maybe you haven't sat with yourself and actually meditated on this issue specifically, and just sort of figuring out, okay, well, why is this happening? Why do I feel this way? What's the issue here? So it seems sort of like a lack of reflection, only because your heart thinks that it's actually helping in some sort of way. It says it eats just one berry a day. By enduring hunger, its spirit is tempered and made sharper. So this could, again, I feel like it's having physical effects on you. So some of you may not be eating as much and may have like food aversion. Well, some of you may be the opposite and sort of overeating. But it does talk about having its, spirit tempered and become sharper. So part of the wound here is thinking that, and perhaps it even is that this has made your spirit become sharper, that you're more spiritually aware. And maybe that is also why you feel like you're helping in some sort of way, because you're getting some sort of, psychic or spiritual downloads about this. It definitely gives me the Temperance card, because it's tempering its spirit, which of course is, being more calm, being at peace in some sort of way. Some of you may be beating addictions even and thinking like, oh, okay, this is helping me overcome this thing in my life. All right, let's see what's keeping you stuck here. Because again, it's like, never giving up. Never giving up is such a good quality, but not every single time. You know what I mean? There are some things that you have to give up. Yeah, 9 of Cups is what's keeping you stuck, because it's still what you're wishing for. It's like you have this energy of what you're trying to manifest, this wish fulfillment, and you just keep wishing the same thing over and over again, wanting it to happen. Again, ignoring all the signs that's like, hey, stay away from this. What's the light energy? Psychic, yeah. So what's keeping you stuck is your third eye, your mental space, your thought patterns, what you're consistently thinking about, what you're saying to yourself in your own head. So, already your mental space is, really coming in strong here. Let's see what's the shadow. What is keeping Scorpio stuck? Wow, that's a lot. We'll do it. We have slack off, big yawn in reverse. So this can cause an overactive third eye. Maybe even you're super psychically, again, third eye, you're telepathically, psychically connected to something. But again, it's distorted. And maybe it's sort of like, well, I don't want to give it up because I see what could be or something like that. But 9 of Cups is also, it's wishful thinking. This is your what's keeping you stuck. This is your blockage. Typically, Nine of Cups is a great card, but not when it's your blockage. It's saying, you know, what you're wishing for is actually what is blocking you. And again, it's the way you're thinking about it. It's the way that you're, you know, talking to yourself about it. But with Slack-Oth, Big Yawn in reverse, Slack-Oth is sort of like the lazy Pokemon that just wants to sleep and stuff like that. Big Yawn in reverse can tell me that, you know, you might not be able to have as much sleep as you wish you could. You may have trouble sleeping, having nightmares, you know, like, what are they called? Night terrors, things like that. Because, again, if your third eye is not tuned in properly, then, of course, your dream space, which is, I mean, I'm not going to go into a bunch of details about the astrophysics of dreaming, but, you know, it is a mental process in a way, right? It goes through your third eye and through your crown is how you connect to these other dimensions. But if your third eye is, you know, consistently wishing for this thing, then it's, you know, going to be interrupting you. It says, the way Slack-Oth rolls around makes anyone watching it feel like doing the same. So this can also be that you're surrounding yourself with really lazy people that really don't want to do anything. You know, people who just want to wish for things to happen instead of taking action on them. We also have Giraffe Rig using Mind Shock, Cinewudo, Watch and Learn in reverse, and Mencino cleaning up. So Mind Shock is also telling me, again, like your third eye could even be in shock. Your brain might be in shock because we do see that you went through some sort of nervous system activation. You could have even, you know, it's like sometimes when you and another person go through the sort of electromagnetic stimulation, you can merge energy centers, sometimes against your consent, if you're not careful, if you don't understand what's going on. And so, you know, the brain is thinking one thing, right? The mind's thinking one thing, and now your third eye is in shock because either something that you thought was not true, or these mental patterns are becoming so disturbed because, again, you're wishing for something over and over again, trying to assert your will, but the mind can only deal with that for so long, right? It's like if there's not any sort of physical evidence, the mind can go into shock of like, okay, well, what's going on here? And even if you see Giraffe Rig here, it's like they're both kind of, you know, on alert of all these sort of psychic balls that are around them. It says, its tail has a small brain of its own. Beware, if you get too close, it may react to your scent by biting. I do want to mention that, you know, multiple of them are talking about scent. So there could be something about your smell, your biochemical smell that is changing. But it's talking about the tail having a brain of its own. So again, brain energy, right? And the tail I always take as something that's happened in the past. So it's like your past self has a different brain. And again, it's in shock because of where you are now. And even it could be in shock because of this electrical shock that happened with this situation here. With Cinewudo, Watch and Learn in reverse, it's telling me when it comes to the sacral chakra, again, where you emotionally and sensually connect to others, you never watched and learned this happen to someone else. So this has never been modeled for you before, of when to give up on something, when it no longer serves you, when to stop asserting this strength that you have, which of course you have unlimited strength. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, it was just never modeled to you, basically. It's kind of like that energy that I was talking about before of like, no one really teaches us when to give up, you know, when it's necessary to let things go and give up. It says, it disguises itself as a tree to avoid attack. It hates water, so it will disappear if it starts raining. So that's definitely, you know, someone who hates emotions. You know, when emotions come out, they'll just hide away. And Mencino is cleaning up. So part of what's in your blockage can be this, again, we have this sort of lazy, not doing anything energy, but then it's like, when that energy comes, it's like, okay, well, now we just have to clean up, you know? So it could be that your space is disorganized, that it's sort of eating your time in some sort of way. It says, these Pokemon prefer tidy habitat. They are always sweeping and dusting, using their tails as brooms. Yeah, so there can be this emphasis on, it's kind of like, I like saw this text post and it's like, oh, like when I have to get work done, like the best thing to get my, like, or what is it? Like the best way that my house gets cleaned is when I have like a project that I'm procrastinating on it, because then I just start doing all these sorts of things around the house. And I feel like that could be, something that you're going through as well. It's like, you know that you need to do something, you know that you need to complete XYZ, but instead you're just sort of doing all these, you know, busy work chores sort of things. All right, so we are going to head into the extended. Like I said, that will be free for you. That link is in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and do keep a heads up for your bonus reading, which will be coming next month. And then of course there will also be the collective reading and so on. But I appreciate your support so much, Scorpio. Let's just see, heading into the extended. This is the Blending of Science and Spirit Oracle. So, okay. We have Zadkiel and Sandalphon in reverse. So this is telling me that, again, it's less of having a modeling type energy here, because Sandalphon was an archangel that was human once. And so, you know, eventually Sandalphon ascended to become an archangel and is like that, that archetype of, you know, modeling that for humanity of what to do, you know, of how to embrace these sorts of angelic frequencies. And again, it's like this hasn't been modeled for you, so it's hard for you to embody that. So I would definitely connect with Archangel Sandalphon so that you can, you know, start to embody these higher vibrational angelic energies. Zadkiel, on the other hand, literally is the archangel of brain protection. And even in this deck, it's associated with a card that is brain protection. And so, you know, doing things to protect your brain, like physically, right? And even your brain in the past. So, you know, one, changing your thoughts. Two, you know, removing things while you're sleeping, maybe your phone or whatever that can be distorting your mind space. But Zadkiel is the archangel that you call upon to release negative energy, to get rid of stagnant things that don't serve you, and getting rid of negative people, places, and things out of your life, which again, that is definitely, you know, there's a lot of negative energy here because you're holding on to something, trying to force it. Again, a lot of it can be because you want to win. You want to be right. You know, we saw there's something that you can't walk away from. So I would definitely be working with Archangel Zadkiel as well. So we are going to head in the extended, like I said. It is for free, so you can just click the link down below, and I will see you there.